Call a committee of the whole meeting for February 9th, 2022 for the Elgin City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Dixon.
Present.
Good.
Here.
Martinez.
Here.
Powell.
Here.
Rauschenberger.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Steffen.
Here.
Thorne.
Here.
Mayor Captain.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of January 26th.
Move approval.
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, clerk please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Rauschenberger.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Steffen.
Yes.
Thorne.
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Items A and B are on both agendas. I'll provide descriptions of both. The first, item A, is a change order. That's number 1 and final for bid 21030, the Lord Street Combined Sewer Separation Phase 6 project. This change order was necessitated by work that was discovered when the city went underground, made a determination that the depth of some of the lateral sanitary sewer lines were not at the level expected, so the city took remedial action to line those sewer service lines with ductile iron pipes to ensure that they did not fail under the new storm sewer. That required an additional $90,000 in expenses, and so it's here for approval because it exceeded the requisite amount requiring change orders under the public bidding process.
Any questions for the manager at this time? Okay. Moving on.
Thank you. Item B is a purchase of service agreement for temporary emergency warming shelter services. The city entered into an agreement for these services for the 21-22 winter season in a not-to-exceed amount of $19,000 in November. During the extremely cold temperatures that are occurring in January, the shelter extended its hours of operation, and the costs for its services are exceeding the amount in that original purchase of service agreement. Staff is recommending a supplemental purchase of services agreement to reimburse both the Elgin Dream Center, those are that is the entity that provides the staffing for the warming shelter, and the Business Nonprofit Development Center at First, also known as First United Methodist Church, which is providing the physical location for the emergency shelter. The not-to-exceed amount is in the amount of $100,000.
Questions for the manager at this time? Mr. Thorne.
Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, this was already brought up once in the past for a amount of $20,000. Does that mean that the total is $120,000?
No. Thank you for asking, Councilmember Thorne. I'm sorry for not making that clear. The original agreement was never finally executed because of some corporate changes that United Methodist Church was doing. The $100,000 amount in this agreement is expected to be, will be the total not to exceed amount. So $100,000, not $120,000. Sorry for missing on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Moving on.
Item C is a plat of dedication. Item C is a plat of dedication, easement agreement, and amendment to the conservation easement at 1451 Sheldon Drive. In 2018, the city approved an ordinance providing zoning reclassifications at that location. And the requirements included the dedication of a 60-foot wide area of land for future driveway access at Shales Parkway to what is known as the Safety Clean property at 1502-1506 Villa Street. This dedication is being required in contemplation of proposed improvements that the Illinois Department of Transportation will potentially be making to the US 20 and Shales Parkway intersection, many of which contemplate prohibiting access, the current access off of Villa Street to the Safety Clean property. This will ensure that in the event that IDOT completes those improvements, the Safety Clean property will still have access.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Rauschenberger.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Steffen.
Yes.
Thorne.
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item D is the acceptance of public improvements within 1600 North Randall Road. In 2011, the final plat for the Alf Randall Road subdivision was approved for the HRT Medical Office building. This subdivision included an exclusive 20-foot wide easement for the city's water main. The property's been recently listed for sale, and the potential purchaser requested confirmation that that the water main is under the city's ownership and maintenance. Research within the city organization revealed that the water main improvements were never formally accepted. This action will enable the city to formally accept the water main, and want to assure you that the water main was recently inspected by the city's engineering division and is found to be functioning as accepted, as predicted.
Move for approval. Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Campton.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0.
Items E and F are companion pieces of sorts and involve acceptance of public parkway improvements within the Highland Woods neighborhood, two different subdivisions. The final subdivision plats for these two neighborhoods were approved in 2006, and when the recession entered, the subdivision's development was predictably halted as the demand for housing slowed down. The city and the developer worked out an agreement in which the developer was not required to complete public improvements for houses in the subdivision that had not been built. In lieu of not completing the work, the subdivision developer submitted a letter of credit to the city to ensure the work would eventually be done. But now that housing is back in full swing and the subdivision is getting close to completion, the public improvements have been completed and are both ready for acceptance. So item E is the acceptance of the parkway improvements within Highland Woods Neighborhood C.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved for approval. Any questions from the manager? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Campton.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0.
Item F is the acceptance of the streetlight improvements within the public areas of Highland Woods Neighborhood J.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Campton.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item G is a request for the city to enter into a procurement commitment with the State of Illinois Department of Central Management Services for the purchases of bulk road salt during the 2022 and 23 winter season. The city uses this state agency, Central Management Services, for soliciting bulk road salt. CMS requires government agencies like Elgin to commit to a quantity of bulk road salt during the preceding spring. Last year, over 800 governmental agencies participated in this program. In 21-22, the city approved a $450,000 purchase, the city receiving per ton pricing of $50 a ton, a 48% decrease from the previous year when the city was paying almost $97 a ton. Committing to this joint purchasing program will generate annual per ton pricing in September and October, at which time staff will present a final agreement to the City Council for approval.
Move for approval. Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Campton.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item H is an engineering services agreement with Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick for the Larkin Avenue pedestrian crossing project. As part of the adoption of the 2022 budget, the city allocated $250,000 for improvements to address the pedestrian crossing issues surrounding Larkin High School. Specifically, mid-block crossings along Larkin Avenue are going to be examined, and staff conveyed preliminary design proposals in November to assist the City Council in deciding on the 2022 allocation of funds. Staff, including Neighborhood Services, Public Works, and Police, met with School District U46 staff and engineers from Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick to discuss possible solutions. A mid-block crossing, including a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, similar to those signs along McLean Boulevard on Larkin High School's east side, along with the build-out of what is referred to as a refuge island at the crosswalk location, and installation of a fence around portions of the high school campus is being proposed. These elements are all included within the proposed engineering services agreement. Final approval of what will be constructed will be presented to the council once those final designs have been finalized.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
I is the adoption of a resolution in lieu of bonds with the Illinois Department of Transportation for work performed within the state right-of-way. City staff routinely performs maintenance initiatives within Illinois Department of Transportation right-of-ways. For reference, Illinois Route 25, Illinois Route 31, Illinois Route 19, Chicago Street, Route 58, Summit Street, and Route 20, Lake Street are all IDOT-controlled areas. When the city performs work on its either sidewalks, water mains, or sanitary sewers, normally what would be required is the posting of a surety bond for that work. The city's adoption of this resolution will enable the city to perform that work without submitting a surety bond. The only guarantee is that the city will complete the work in accordance with IDOT standards.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item J is athletic facility improvement funding. The city's athletic facility improvement funding program provides financial assistance to Elgin-based sports organizations for making capital improvements to city-owned properties on which they conduct their athletic programs. These sports organizations supplement the city's funding with donations and in-kind services from their volunteers. This year, we are providing funding in the amount of I'm looking at the numbers over here. $50,000 to the Elgin National Little League, Elgin Classic Little League, Elgin Babe Ruth, Elgin Youth Football and Cheer, and Elgin Men's Basketball, all in the total amount of $50,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor Captain.
Ms. Powell?
I noticed that there isn't any allocation for Elgin Youth Football and Cheer. Is there a reason? Did they not apply, or what happened with them this year?
Elgin Bears received a allocation under this program in the previous year, but did not complete that work. So the expectation and the hope is that previously awarded grant will be completed this year, so they'll be eligible for funding in the next round.
Okay. And they are under that understanding, they're in the process of working through the stuff that they're supposed to be doing?
Yes, this isn't, it's something that staff has been working on with the Bears for a long duration within 2021. So no, this isn't something new.
Okay.
Anything else? Mr. Good?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on a little bit of that. Going through this, I couldn't help but notice there was basically half the people that were set to present weren't able to make it for one reason or another. So my first question is, did they have an opportunity outside of this meeting to present? Did the city make that a little bit more flexible? And I guess follow-up would be, moving forward, I mean, again, I don't know all the details of how the outreach is happening, but maybe this is an opportunity for the incoming communications department to help these organizations through this process. Again, without knowing the entire process, I don't want to be overly burdensome on the city, but I'm just curious if you could fill me in on, I guess, city accommodations for people to make these presentations.
I don't know the particular reasons as to why there was an inability to be present this year. You'll find that the universe of potential athletic groups that have the ability of funding is relatively finite. So there's a recognition for most of these organizations of the ability to submit projects for funding as part of this cycle that's been in place since, does Maria have it in the memo? It's something that we've been doing for a while. I don't have specific information as to what happened with the people who didn't show up this year, but I'm pretty confident that again, well, let's see here. It says here, representatives from the American Legion Baseball, Elgin, I mean, there's the whole list of the 7 of them that were contacted and worked with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. But I will find out what the reasons were for those that weren't in attendance this year to make sure that it wasn't through any fault of the city that they didn't have knowledge of this process.
Yeah, and
So-
I read the reasons in the memo. I guess what I'm saying is, I know, for example, the BMX Riders Association was changing leadership. So my question is just, did they have an opportunity outside of the advisory meeting to do that pitch, or is it kind of for each year? Is it that's the big day? If you can't make it, you don't get your shot.
Yes. So in that sense is, yes, that's the big day or that's the big year where if you don't get your shot. There's that expectation when that time period is coming up. If you don't have your initiatives in order ready for presentation, there's an understanding that you're going to miss that funding cycle. It'll probably be awarded to somebody next year.
Okay.
But by that same token, with the same actors coming in submitting, I know that there is a mindset within the Parks and Recreation Board to spread the wealth, if you will, so that there isn't any one organization that's successively getting funding when there's a number of projects competing and are all worthy of funding consideration.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Mr. Dixon, do you have your hand up a while ago?
No, he actually answered my question. so
Good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Powell? Again?
Yes, I guess just piggybacking on what Councilman Good was asking about, and I was looking at the difference in how much the Classic Little League, I mean, they took the bulk of the money, and I see that there's looks like an explanation as to why they ended up getting like $76,000 this year. It's a pretty big chunk compared to what the other groups are getting. So I guess I kind of share some of the same concerns as Councilman Good in terms of what happened with some of these other groups that, like Elgin BMX, 0, Elgin Legion Baseball, 0, Elgin Youth Football and Cheer, 0. Can we table this to get some more information? I'll make a motion to table until we get some more information.
I think the top table is what they requested, not what they received. The top table is what they requested. 76,000 is what they requested, they only got like 15.
Oh, okay, I was reading it wrong.
Right. They didn't receive that award.
Now, down below is where these.
Okay.
Break on. So like the other people didn't request.
Reading is fundamental. Okay, got it. All right, I retract that. But I guess I still have the concern of making sure that everyone had an opportunity to get their funding request in, but, okay.
Okay.
This is coming back before us for a regular meeting, so between these next 2 weeks, we can get some more information.
What I can do is I will have the Parks Department provide historic information on the funding levels for those different organizations, and my guess is we'll figure out a time frame with that, and you'll see the numbers going up and down depending on the
project.
depending on the projects. Because again, it's the Parks and Recreation Board that provides the primary advice on this, and I know that they're mindful of trying to be as equitable as possible with all of these projects. So we'll have that for you in time for the final vote at the next meeting.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Dixon?
Now I have a question, a different question. So, city manager, for the ones that are listed with the $0 amount, are they only listed because they received funds in '21? But if they didn't apply again, I'm wondering why they're even listed. Why is that?
They applied and did not receive funding during this round.
So they presented and
Yes.
they didn't meet the standard? Okay, that's why all right, thank you.
Mr. Stefan?
Just to kind of also further elaborate on an answer to Councilman Good's question. I think it's in the minutes for the Parks and Rec Committee or Commission in miscellaneous business, but I know Augie and Monica from the Elgin Men's Baseball were allowed to make a presentation outside of the meeting. I think it was categorized in their minutes as a medical emergency. They had something go on, and so they were allowed to give their information. As an example of, I think the commission did try to work with groups in that situation particularly. Augie and Monica have been doing men's baseball for many years, or several years now, and they were allowed to make that presentation outside of the meeting because there was something that came up. So.
Okay. Anything else? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0.
Item K is the acceptance of the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grants for camera purchases. Police Department was awarded a technology grant for fiscal year 2021, allocating funds for the purchase of replacement cameras that are served as part of the Real-Time Information Center, or RIC. The 2021 grant will reimburse Elgin for the purchase of 6 replacement cameras in various areas of the city. Those areas include McLean Boulevard and College Green Drive, Spring Street and Highland Avenue, Long Carmen Parkway and Bowes Road, Chicago Street and Center Street, Kimball Street and Grove Avenue, and a water tower camera at the Shales Parkway location.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item L is the purchase of focus laser scanners, associated equipment, and on-site training with Faro Technologies. Faro Technologies affords police officers on crime scenes and traffic crash investigations with the ability to create accurate, complete, and photorealistic 3D images of any environment or object in an expeditious manner. The Faro can be utilized in inclement weather, poor lighting, and difficult terrain, and can be used both indoors and outdoors. The speed and ease of using Faro allows investigators to access a 3D recreation of any crime scene or traffic crash with built-in computer-generated measurements within an hour of the scan being completed. This substantially decreases the time it takes for the police department, substantially decreases the amount of time in comparison to the department's current technology. The images can then be utilized in investigations and courtroom testimony, offering professional and realistic images. This purchase is in the amount of $54,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0.
Item M is the purchase of customer service software from Spider Tech Incorporated. Spider is a police-specific customer service software that allows a wide spectrum of services to incorporate relevant data for the police department's records management system to gauge if its members are providing satisfactory customer service to the community. It includes 3 modules that enable automatic and customized text and email messages relating to victims of crime and for those persons reporting crimes. It also provides information on an officer's arrival time. The second module provides critical information regarding an investigation. And the third component is mobile-friendly surveys composed of questions chosen by the police department that can be used to measure community trust and satisfaction. Spider includes multilingual functionality and will enable the police department to solicit and provide information in multiple languages. This purchase is just under $80,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0.
Item N is the purchase of Gray Key Mobile Forensic Access Software from Grayshift LLC. Gray Key is the software that's used to crack the code of an encrypted iPhone telephone device. The city has been using this software since 2017, and this purchase will enable the added feature of being able to perform that function on Android operating system devices. It's important to know that using Gray Key is predicated on legal authority granted by a search warrant or otherwise with the owner's consent. This purchase is about $28,000.
Move for approval?
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Announcements from the council. Mr. Shaw.
Just a quick clarification. Did we miss item E or F? Somehow I feel like we had like 2 votes in there instead of 3 for D, E, and F. I'm just checking.
No.
I called E and F. Those were the companion pieces for the Highland
You called those-
subdivision.
no, they were together.
I described them together, and then there were 2 separate
Some
votes. I'm
separate
sorry,
votes.
council member.
I'm good. That's
Announcements from the council. Announcements from staff.
None, Mayor.
We have none. I entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purpose listed in the agenda and for the additional purpose to consider the purchase of real property exempt pursuant to Section 120-2C5 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
so moved.
Second.
Moved and second to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, we are adjourned. We'll reconvene at the regular council meeting at 7 p.m. Okay, we'll call the regular meeting for the Elgin City Council for February 9th, 2022 to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Dixon,
Here.
Good,
Here.
Martinez,
Here.
Powell,
Here.
Rauschenberger,
Here.
Shaw,
Here.
Stefan,
Here.
Thorne,
Here.
Mayor Captain.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of January 26, 2022.
So moved?
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. We have one communication this evening. We have a proclamation. Ms. Powell is going to read the proclamation tonight. You better.
Oh, we've got all this fancy new equipment down here. If I could have the representatives from Ram Foods, please come up and join me at the podium, please. Good to see you all. So, on behalf of the city of Elgin, this is something we started a few years ago, recognizing African American businesses in our community. And this year, we are recognizing Ram Foods. So it brings me great pleasure to read this proclamation on behalf of the city. Whereas February has been designated as Black History Month, where all citizens are encouraged to reflect on the sacrifices and contributions made by generations of African Americans and resolve to recognize long-standing local African American business owners who have made important contributions and are advocates in our community. And whereas one such family business is owned by Suze Sarrazin and was established in August of 2009 as Ram Foods, located at 725 West Chicago. And whereas Frank Sr. and Suze came to the United States from Haiti for a visit in 1985 and chose to stay due to the political upheaval in their homeland. And after Frank Jr. was born as a U.S. citizen, and after immigrating, subsequently had 3 daughters. And whereas Frank Jr. and Suze came to Chicagoland area by way of New York and Rhode Island and settled in Carpentersville in 1995, and wanting to own her own business, prayed to God and opened Ram Foods in August of 2009 so as to support her family and also to bring a small convenience store to their community on the west side of Elgin. And whereas the city of Elgin appreciates the efforts of the Sarrazin family of Ram Foods and their dedication to family and business and promoting the aspirations of the African American community. Now therefore, David Captain, Mayor of the City of Elgin, Illinois, do hereby ask all citizens to join us in honoring Ram Foods for their dedication to business and into the community of Elgin. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you.
I'm going to just say something, since y'all didn't want to say something, because I think the last time you were here, it was for a liquor license application, and that was your second try. People in the community, their businesses on the near west side, everybody knows them. the people that come to their business, they know them by first name. And I remember when you were going through some of the challenges to get that liquor license, you know, I think it was a little overblown, some of the concerns that folks had.
Yes.
Because we haven't heard a peep of a problem since you've had that liquor license. People respect you, and you respect your customers.
Yes.
And I don't know when you get a break, because every time I stop in there, y'all are in there.
7 days.
But we really appreciate your commitment and dedication to the Elgin community. God bless you, and continued success to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a few public comments this evening, but they will be read. They're all concerning the petition for the development of 640 Villa Street. So I'll call on you at that time. And we have no bids this evening, so the first item of other business is consideration of petition 49-21, 1460 Sheldon Drive, plan development as a map amendment to construct a new parking lot for School District U46 plant operations facility. Mr. Malat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This property is located on the north side of Sheldon Drive, east of Shales Parkway. Here is Sheldon. Sorry here. Technical difficulty there getting set up. Let's go to that. There we go. Here is Sheldon. Here is Shales. Chicago is across the top, and Route 20 is down along the bottom. You've got Safety Clean also towards the bottom of your screen. Elgin High School off here to the left, and Biggers Chevrolet is up here towards the top. U46 is requesting approval of a new parking lot at their plant operations facility. The 5-acre property includes a 63,000 square foot building used for school district maintenance operations, project management offices, and storage and distribution of school district supplies. The new 47 parking spaces will be constructed behind the existing building shown in the green oval. The existing parking lot includes 54 parking spaces for staff and 103 parking spaces for school district vehicles. With up to 100 employees during the busiest shift, there's not enough parking for staff. The new parking lot would bring the total number of staff parking spaces to 101. While 9 existing evergreen trees need to be removed to accommodate the new parking lot, the applicant would preserve all 14 existing mature deciduous trees along the north property line, which provides screening for the adjacent townhomes. U46 would further enhance the screening by installing 43 new evergreen trees on the north side of the new parking lot. The existing 6-foot-high solid wood fence located along the north property line would remain as well. U46 would construct a new public sidewalk along the frontage of Sheldon Drive with a connection to the building. No changes are proposed to the existing building. The applicant is available by Zoom should you have any questions. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval, subject to conditions outlined within your packet.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for approval subject to conditions. Any questions from Mr. Malat or the developer? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Steffen,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Item 2 is consideration of petitions 52-21 and 62-21, 107 East Highland Avenue, zoning ordinance text amendment and conditional use to establish a tattoo parlor with an art gallery and event space within an existing 2-story commercial building. Mr. Malat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This property is located at the southeast corner of Highland and Grove Avenues. Here is Highland, and this is Grove right along there. City Hall is just to the top of your picture up here. Post office a little bit to the lower to the left. The recently approved Judson Architecture Studios and dorm is right there. And you got the tower building here just to the bottom lower right-hand side of your screen. Alchemy Tattoo and Art Gallery requests approval of a new tattoo parlor and art gallery within the vacant second floor tenant space. The proposed business would occupy the entire 2,200 square feet of the second floor of the historic B. Hagelow building. Alchemy is a woman-owned and operated body art studio and gallery. The space would have 4 private studios, 3 of which would be available for other tattoo and body art artists. The facility would also have an art gallery and sell a variety of featured art products and fine art prints. Alchemy would periodically feature art exhibitions to provide local artists with an opportunity to share their art. The facility would host different types of art-focused events, such as a paint and draw night, and fundraisers for up to 20 people to encourage artists to congregate and create art together. Highland Avenue is an arterial road along which tattoo parlors and other certain land uses are not otherwise permitted. Alchemy is seeking a text amendment to the zoning ordinance that would allow tattoo parlors as a conditional use above the first floor along Highland Avenue east of the river, that area within the yellow circle on your map. When not located along an arterial road, tattoo parlors are allowed as a conditional use in both downtown zoning districts, CC1 and CC2, which are the 2 red shaded areas also on your map. The facility would comply with all requirements of the Illinois Department of Public Health. The applicant is not proposing any exterior changes to the building and would complete minor interior renovations to accommodate the new use. The applicant is available by Zoom should you have any questions. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval, subject to conditions outlined within your packet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for approval, subject to conditions. Any questions for Mr. Millat or the applicant? Ms. Powell.
And just for clarification and for everyone's benefit, the tattoo parlor would be on the second floor?
Yes, ma'am.
And the art gallery would be on the first floor?
The art gallery would be also on the second floor. This space here would double as a waiting area, but then also at their art gallery. The first floor is currently Red Poppy Bistro.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. Anything else? I believe I read in the documents that Ms. Porter was a previous resident of Elgin Art Space. And I think that serves well. It's a 20-year project in the city of Elgin. And the hope was at that time that artists would move to the city of Elgin and continue to stay here and invest in the community. And this is a good example of that.
Yes, sir.
So, nothing else? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Martinez?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Rauschenberger?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Steffen?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0. Item 3 is consideration of petition 56-21, 640 Villa Street. Plan development as a conditional use for adaptive reuse of the existing motor vehicle service station as a package liquor sales establishment. Mr. Millat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This property is located at the northwest corner of Villa Street and Illinois Avenue. Here is Villa here, Illinois right there. You've got Walgreens on the left-hand side of your screen, Golden Market below the subject property there, and Villa Liquors is on the right-hand side of your screen. Andy Patel requests approval of the adaptive reuse of the existing gas station and convenience store at 640 Villa Street, converting the building into a packaged liquor sales establishment, also known as a liquor store. The applicant proposes a complete interior and exterior renovation of the existing 1,200 square foot convenience store. The existing underground tanks, wells, fuel pump islands, and canopy over the fuel pump islands would be removed. The building would get a new masonry exterior on all sides with new windows on the south and east elevations. New landscaping and pedestrian accommodations would be installed throughout the site. A 6-foot-high solid fence would be installed between the site and adjacent single-family homes to the north and to the west for screening, even though both adjacent properties have the same commercial zoning as the subject property. The curb cut along Villa Street, which currently runs the entire frontage of the property along Villa Street, will be dramatically reduced, advancing an important goal of the comprehensive plan. Also of note, the majority of the new vehicle use areas, including all of that on the east, north, and west sides of the building, will be constructed of pervious pavers. If the conditional use for the packaged liquor establishment is granted, the applicant must apply for and obtain a liquor license before any sale of packaged liquor is established. The applicant is available should you have any questions. I believe they are in person tonight. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval, subject to the conditions outlined within your packet.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for approval. Before the council has any discussion, we have 4 people have signed up and wish to comment. David Sabathny.
Right, take it off so we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Good evening, my name is David Sabathny. I am the President and CEO of the Western DuPage Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to support the redevelopment of 640 Villa Street by Mr. Patel. The redevelopment is a neighborhood business district and proposes to remove the current gas station and renovate both the interior and exterior of the existing structure and the site. The intended use would be a retail liquor store, which is an acceptable use within the district. If accepted, this redevelopment improves the neighborhood permanently, or at least for the foreseeable future. Improvements align with the vision defined in your comprehensive plan and offers neighborhood choice. Choice, or put another way, competition. I like what Herbert Hoover said, competition is not only the basis of protection to the consumer, but is the incentive for progress. Competition also encourages businesses to improve the quality of goods and services they sell, to attract more customers. This results in greater choice, so consumers can select a product that offers the right balance between price and quality. Mr. Patel has his work cut out for him. The competitors have been open since 1988. They enjoy multi-generational relationships with their customers. They would likely have no real debt service compared to the over $1 million Mr. Patel would need to invest before he can open the doors for business. Mr. Patel has been a valued and respected business resident of the city of West Chicago for almost 20 years, despite the fact that he looks like he's 25. I hate that about him. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. He's benevolent to the community and dedicated to his business. Andy is the example of a young entrepreneur, focused on improving business, training his employees right to serve the customers the right way, to have the right products, and knows how to scale his business for growth. There is no downside here. Investments that are made will remain, even if he were to fail. Now, my guess is he won't. I think he'll thrive, he'll grow, and the community of Elgin will benefit. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I believe it's Atul Sobani.
Hello, my name is, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
My name is Atul Swagia, owner of Villa Liquors, located at 695 Villa Street, Elgin. Since 1988, my family and I owned that business. This is my first time in front of City Council in more than 33 years of doing the business. So I am here tonight, not just for my business, but I'm here to speak on behalf of all existing liquor stores in Elgin. Now let me explain to you a little bit about liquor business itself. Liquor business is a limited market. It's a saturated market. When I say it's a limited market, it's 21 and older, and not everybody drinks. Saturated market. Just to give you an example, here in Elgin, just on the east side of Elgin, when I say east side of Fox River in Elgin, we have 14 establishments where you can purchase packaged liquor to go. 14 establishments. Versus we only have 11 gas stations on the east side of Elgin. Now you have way more number of vehicles than you do have number of people that consumes alcohol. So it is extremely competitive as it is already. Now, sorry, I'm just going through some of my notes here. So when there is a new liquor license created and new liquor store is put, it does not create new customers automatically. What it does, it takes away from the existing ones. Okay? Now, just to give an example, years ago, when we had a store on the west side of Elgin, they moved to east side of Elgin in the Butera Shopping Center. And they are more than a mile away from my existing business. And when they moved to the east side, we lost quite a bit of business, even though they were a mile away, because of that direct competition, even though it was a mile away. Now, when there is a new liquor store, all it does, it takes away from the existing stores. In this case, it will be the nearest one, which is my business. So when that store on the east side in the Butera Shopping Center opened up, we lost quite a bit of business. For 6 months, I did not take a paycheck. But I made sure all my employees got paid on time. Being said that, there was a mention of competition. I would like to elaborate a little bit on that. Yes, if I have to, I am ready to compete. I have been competing. I've been through this before, and I will go through it again, no doubt about it. There is no doubt that I'm capable of competing. Absolutely, yes. If I have to, I will take no paycheck for 6 months, year, 2 years, whatever it takes. But I will make sure all my employees stays and get paid. At this point, I have nothing further to say. Thank you very much to all.
Kate McCracken.
Good evening. My name is Kate McCracken. I am a partner with the law firm of Hushite, McGirt, McCracken, and Cascaden. I represent the applicant tonight, and I just want to follow up on a couple comments that have been made so far. You have an applicant tonight who is an experienced and respected business owner who, despite the fact we have already noted, appears younger than he might be. He has a history, a documented history of a positive relationship with the community. This is a substantial improvement of a small site which meets the goals of the comprehensive plan. I think that at the end of the day, while I recognize that there are concerns about the competitive nature and other businesses in the area, at the end of the day, I really believe that competition makes everyone better. This is not intended or a focus on affecting anyone else's business. This is intended to be a small business, a substantial, readaptive use and improvement of a site that is, in my opinion, desperately in need of improvement. And the competition that may or may not occur is, in fact, something that will raise all parties up and improve everyone and improve the options and market availability to everyone in the neighborhood. So I would ask you to consider this as, in the end of the day, a positive improvement and something that will benefit the area and the community.
Thank you. Andy Patel.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Andy Patel. I'm the petitioner for this site. I understand competition is after 33 or 34 years, I think they've been there. They don't want competition, but that site is pretty outdated. It's coming to shambles. It looks bad. The area, the Walgreens is a beautiful site. We want to make a site that the neighborhood adheres to. It's a small site. It's a 1,200 square foot store. We're not trying to build a Binny's here and trying to run anybody out of business. We're just going to be competitive. We're going to be competitive, and there's enough competition is good for everybody. And if there's any other questions for me from the board?
Thank you. We'll wait till we
Okay.
get through the discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had a brief conversation with Mr. Cogley, and I'm going to ask him to say a few words and help clarify the difference between zoning law, alcohol, and our liquor commission's responsibilities to kind of clarify things for everybody. Mr. Cogley?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So there's two areas here that are sort of parallel to one another when it comes to packaged liquor stores. First is the zoning issue, and in this instance, a conditional use, and the standards that are laid out in the municipal code for conditional uses. And then the second issue is a liquor license, which if the council were to approve this, then this petitioner would need to come and apply for a liquor license. And that is a process which, that has a whole different set of issues, and actually is a much more, given the structure of the city's liquor code, is a much more discretionary process, because in fact, the city limits the number of various classes of liquor licenses, including the Class B license, the various Class B licenses which are being applied for here. Now that has been considered sort of a soft cap, but standing alone, a concern over competition by a business is not dispositive of a conditional use application. Otherwise, we wouldn't, if that were the case, we wouldn't have two daycare centers within a certain area. We wouldn't have two gas stations where at some intersections we see 2 or 3 gas stations. We would be seeing objections from those competing businesses all the time. And so that standing alone is not, I haven't heard any other assertions that this particular development doesn't meet the standards for a conditional use, other than a concern of another business owner over over a potential competition. The council is to apply certain standards, the site characteristics, the utilities, traffic and parking, location, design, operation, if there's a historic preservation issue. The competition concerns of a single other business and a similar business is really not a dispositive factor for conditional uses. Having said that, the council can also take a holistic look at liquor licenses and classifications and numerical limits, and having concerns about that into that separate process. I'm not saying the case has been made for that either, but that's a separate process where we can talk about, how many liquor stores do we have in the city, how many did we have 10 years ago, and take those things into consideration. So that is a bit of an overview, at least as to tonight's consideration.
Okay. Thank you. All right, at this time, any questions or comments from the council? Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited about this new liquor store coming. It is an improvement. Everybody's mentioned that. I think the fact that Mr. Patel's coming in and spending $1 million is thank you for coming here, for looking at the site. The way I look at it, competition, I look at it more for choices, what choices the residents have. The competition goes with the businesses, and if they have a good product, I mean, they really should feel more at ease that, their customers will keep coming back. But I look at the choices. I think this would be a good choice. I just have a concern. I'm not sure. I know that Walgreens also has a liquor license. Is that correct, Mr. Cogley?
Yes.
And how many feet or how far is it from the school? There's a school nearby, because I think that's closer than what this liquor store will be.
So two things. First of all, the Walgreens a liquor license is a type of packaged liquor, but it's different than this liquor. That's called an accessory packaged liquor, so they're limited to a much smaller footprint. So you walk into the Walgreens, it's a pharmacy, and have a whole variety of items, and then they have an area which can't be more than 10% of their floor area for alcohol. I'm not certain of the distance. I haven't investigated the school distance. However, the state law on the school and church issue has changed, several years ago now, and our municipal code, our liquor code, has changed as well with respect to that. That used to be a prohibition with certain exceptions. The city council and the liquor commission can choose to override that limitation now. They changed the state law on that.
Because it would be the same for a church as well?
Yes.
Okay. And I was just curious, the curiosity was, what is the distance between the liquor store that's at 640 and the church that is across the street?
Yeah, do the materials indicate that, Mark?
I don't know that I can do a quick search here, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
We can certainly get that number for you, Councilwoman.
Other than that, I think this is a great project. I don't see any problems with it, but that's the only concern that I wanted to bring up. If somebody could please answer that, that would be great. Kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure. So thank you.
Okay. Further questions? Ms. Powell.
Thank you. My question is for the petitioner. If he can come back up to the podium. Really impressed with the drawings and the proposed investment and the improvement that you're looking to make on that piece of property. I'm just curious, what made you want to do a liquor store, considering what else is currently in the area?
So that station has tanks that are about, I don't know, first of all, the station's on the market for sale.
Okay.
This station has tanks that are pretty much outdated now. So they've got to get removed one way or another. So there's no value left in the underground tanks. The station is just, it's in bad shape. So to run it as a gas station, the initial thought was to go in for a beer and wine license, but to spend the kind of money that we need to spend in that site to remodel it, and I'm in the liquor business. I am 4 locations. We thought, let's spend the money and let's do it right. It's not a big site, but we thought if we can get a site like this and we can improve it, we should. I mean, we don't see, the only competition in the area is the gentleman that was up here. We don't see any other competition in that area. So it looked like a good opportunity for us to increase to our 5th location.
So based on, excuse me, like you said, you have liquor stores in other communities, so you've got the experience, and it just seemed to fit within the plan for, well, the footprint of this property.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Dixon.
Thank you. So I see this a few different ways, and I don't have any questions for you, so thank you. Appreciate it. Number one, I don't mind the competition. I think it's necessary, right? So we're not in the business of trying to prevent other businesses from coming into the community in protection of other businesses, generally speaking, right? So that's not really a problem for me. I think the key thing for me, and it was actually said, but it was in reference to something else, but it's saturation. And I'm a liquor commissioner, right? So this is something that we've discussed, and a few others up here are part of the liquor commission too as well. But the concern for me when it comes to new liquor stores in this community is that there are concentrations, that certain neighborhoods are saturated with these liquor stores. And to me, that's a public health issue. The east side of our town is the low-income side of our community, and those who live on the east side of town have ready access to these liquor stores, and particularly some low-income apartment complexes or blocks here in the city. And so when you put liquor stores around them, that's a problem to me. That's a public health issue. And so with that other liquor store being, I don't know how many feet away, but it's right around the corner. It's a stone's throw away. To me, that's the concern. It's you're there, they're there. There's more ready access to liquor available, right? It's not about competition. It's not about protecting one or the other. It's just about the saturation. Now that's a conversation that we'll probably end up having on the Liquor Commission, and trying to figure that out. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Cogley, we don't currently have any ordinances saying that liquor stores of a certain type have to be X amount of feet from each other, or correct me if I'm wrong.
We do not have that requirement.
We don't have that, okay. And this is a issue also too on the west side of town off of Big Timber and McLean. There are several different liquor stores or places that sell alcohol in that area, and we've briefly touched on that, or I've mentioned that before in the past, in the last few years. So I love the improvement to the property, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with the competition. My issue is the saturation. That has nothing to do with your business, right? If it wasn't you, it might have been somebody else. But that's something that I think that we have to figure out as a liquor commission. And I don't think that's really going to affect you and what you're going to do. But that's something that we have to figure out as a city. So thank you for your time. Congratulations to you. Appreciate you continue to invest in our community and improving that property, because it is a blight. You know, I drive past it all the time. It's in really bad shape. So thank you for buying it up and wanting to invest in it. Thank you.
Mayor Captain, it's Carol Rauschenberger.
Ms. Rauschenberger.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to follow up on Councilperson Dixon's comments. I too am not going to vote against this new liquor store, but taking Mr. Cogley and Mr. Dixon's comments, I do think the city needs to look at the concentration of liquor stores in our communities. It is known by research that there are higher concentrations of liquor stores in lower income, African American, and Latino neighborhoods. So we as a city should be good planners, thoughtful about the needs of our community, and as we can control liquor licenses, we should be making sure that they're not all focused in certain neighborhoods. So yeah, I'm glad this came up, and I'm sure the Liquor Commission will move forward on that research. So thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, Ms. Powell.
Yes, this is a question for staff. What happens if the city council approves this conditional use, but the subsequent liquor license application is not approved? Would they have to come back for a different use?
Well, absent a liquor license, they can't run a liquor store. So,
Absolutely. Well, absolutely.
and so there are different standards, different issues. And in fact, it's my understanding that there are currently no Class B licenses available. There's a numerical limit. So the city council would have to decide to create a new license for this establishment. And if they don't, then that can't have a liquor store.
Again, just for clarification, there are 5 people on the Liquor Commission, but the approval has to come back through for the City Council
Right.
After that as well. So.
That's because an ordinance would be required to increase the number. If there were sufficient numbers, the commission could grant the license or choose to grant the license if they chose to. But without a license actually being available, it would take legislation to create a new one.
Mr. Kozol.
You may recall, Councilmember Powell, it's also been practice of this council that when zoning approval is required for any liquor license, it's a condition precedent to get the zoning approval so a license isn't issued first and then the zoning isn't approved. So this is typical of the process.
Great. Okay. Anything else? Okay. One question for Mr. Malat. We're doing tank removal there. Does that include remediation as well, environmental remediation of the site?
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Martinez?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Rauschenberger?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Steffen?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Brings us to item 4 is consideration of petition 59-21, 1020 Summit Street, units A and B, conditional use to establish a physical fitness facility with an existing multiple tenant commercial within, in addition, an existing multiple tenant commercial building. Mr. Malat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This 6,100 square foot tenant space is part of the larger multi-tenant, multi-building Cobbler's Crossing Shopping Center located on the north side of Summit Street, east of Waverly Avenue. Here is Summit Street, and this is Waverly in this location here. You've got Pep Boys Auto located just to the left of the subject property there. Jewel Osco is the larger shopping center tenant there in the middle of your screen. You got Chase Bank Lutheran Church of Our Savior on the other side of Summit, and 7-Eleven is down here at the opposite corner of Waverly and Summit. Anytime Fitness requests approval of its first club in Elgin, offering a variety of fitness equipment and exercise classes to its members. Anytime Fitness is a national franchise known for smaller size clubs, open 24 hours. Anytime has over 4,000 franchise locations in the United States and abroad. The closest current facilities to Elgin are in Hoffman Estates, Streamwood, Bartlett, and St. Charles. The facility would provide an open floor plan for exercise equipment and changing rooms with shower facilities. A manager, personal trainer, and 1 cleaning staff would be available from 10 to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. However, members can access the club 24 hours a day, 365 days a year with a valid key fob. The facility would also offer fitness classes for up to 10 persons during various times of the day. The applicant would renovate the interior, but no exterior changes are proposed. Any signage in the future will meet the zoning ordinance requirements. The applicant is available by Zoom tonight should you have any questions. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval, subject to conditions outlined within your packet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval, subject to conditions. Any question for Mr. Malat or the applicant? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Martinez?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Rauschenberger?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Steffen?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0. Congratulations. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing execution of a change order number 1 and final with Trine Construction Company for the Lord Street Combined Sewer Separation Phase 6 project bid number 21-030.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion?
That was a mouthful, Mayor.
Boy, you ain't kidding. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Martinez?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Rauschenberger?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Steffen?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Item 6 is a resolution authorizing execution of an economic incentive agreement with a la carte entertainment at 2300 Bushwood.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Martinez?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Rauschenberger?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Steffen?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. It's been quite a while since they were here the first time around. Yeah. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a purchase of service agreement with the Elgin Dream Center and the Business Non-for-Profit Development Center at First, doing business as First United Methodist Church for temporary emergency warming shelter services.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved to second for approval. Any discussion? Ms. Powell.
I just want to thank all of the parties that are involved with providing the emergency shelter for their work in assisting our unhoused community in Elgin. They do a really admirable job, and definitely looking forward to supporting this tonight. So just wanted to publicly thank them for their efforts and their partnership with the city.
Anything else? Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say thank you to the volunteers who are working at the shelter. So I really appreciate them, and it was just this past weekend that the mayor and I were on a Zoom with the Gale Board and Library, and we talked about how Elgin is the city of volunteers, in addition to being a city of a lot of other things. But I just wanted to point out, since we just recently had that conversation, I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers, to the church for continuing to step up. We really appreciate you for doing that work. So thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Item 8.
Move for approval.
Oop,
Second.
Oh, I didn't.
they made it easy on me.
Slow, Mayor.
Yeah. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Item 9, authorization for payments.
Move for approval?
Second.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Consent agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second. Move. Yeah, both.
Moved and second for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, motion's approved 9-0. Miscellaneous business.
Move for approval?
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, the motion's approved 9-0. Announcements. The next committee of the whole meeting will be Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. The next regular meeting of the Elgin City Council will be Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers. Entertain a motion to adjourn back to executive session.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmembers Dixon,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Rauschenberger,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Stefan,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Mayor Captain.
Yes, we are adjourned. Have a good evening.